Hey guys, Rob and Shannon here at Paradise Falls. We wanted to come to you guys with a pretty big update and wanted to reach out to you first before we put anything else out there on the web or anything. We have some really big news. We have decided to go ahead and put Paradise Falls on the market.
Heading out on our own with our hope in the clouds, and we're starting to see that we're onto something. Feel it coming, we'll keep running, nothing in our way. We got what it takes. Here we go, with the sunlight on our skin. It's a brand new day, it's ours to take, and we will let it in. This is where the adventure begins.
When we started the sailing adventure, both Shannon and I were novices and really didn't know how sailing would affect us.
That's not true. We sailed for, like, our other boat. We sailed to the Bahamas. I've never ever been seasick. I've had migraines since I was young, but I've never been seasick until our first ocean passage. And I was seasick for at least 4 of those 11 days. And every single passage we've been on since then, I'm sick at least 3 days with a migraine. And they used to be tolerated with oral medicine, but now I can't tolerate the oral medicine because I get so sick, I have to take injectables, and that doesn't even work all the time.
Yeah, and it's just her and I really manning the boat. It's really tough and a challenge for us to get the boat from place to place. We came back to New Zealand after our break and started outfitting the boat and getting things ready to go to
hopeful for our next season to head off west and to make it home in May of 2026. So we had huge plans.
Talking about it and praying hard about it and just talking with Davis about what his feelings are and just the struggles that he's had on the boat with homeschooling and whatnot. We believe it is in our best interest at this time to go ahead and get back to the States and put some solid ground beneath our feet for a little while and
work on us as a family.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. Family's important to us.
When you're thrown together 24/7 that we have for 2 years, I mean, I've said things to Davis I've never said to any of my other kids. You just get on one another's nerves.
You do, and it's not bad. It's
no,
not bad.
But with his ADHD and homeschooling, with my migraines, like missing my other kids, it's hard when you've got half your family on the boat and half your family at home.
Yeah.
We don't know how we're gonna announce this on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we don't know when we're gonna announce it, but on the YouTube channel. But we wanted to make sure you guys knew about it first, just to let you know that we really appreciate you. And
we want to be real and show people. I don't know. I think eventually I'm gonna want to show people this, like how hard the decision was to come to this.
And it's something that we haven't taken lightly. I just think that this is the best decision that we're going to make right now, and get the boat sold, get us back to the States, and focus on our family for a little while and get things hopefully back to where they were.
Just a good place, and Davis definitely he's always said the whole time he wants to go to high school back somewhere. We don't know if we're going to land in Florida. We don't know where we're going to land. At this point, there's a lot of uncertainties.
We're going to go into this and work with the government to go ahead and get permission to sell the boat. We've got to do a whole bunch of other things.
But anyway, we just wanted to tell you guys first before you saw a listing or saw something somewhere, because we're going to start putting the information out to sell the boat as many places as we can. So if you want a 2018 Leopard 45, it's going to be available in New Zealand. Anyway, we just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
The next 24 hours were filled with phone calls to the government, boat brokers, and getting the boat in her best condition to take pictures in preparation to get her listed on the market. So what we didn't get to say in that Patreon video is a lot of things that kind of have went on behind the scenes that just didn't make it in that video. We just didn't think of it right then. But we'd always said that Australia is our bailout point, that if we make it to Australia, if we decide this is not for us, we can't handle it, we run out of money, whatever, we will sail the boat in Australia. That's kind of always been in the back of our minds. So coming to New Zealand, I think that's kind of where we've been for the past 6 months, is kind of thinking like, okay, if we're gonna jump out, if we're gonna, bail out on this is our chance to do it.
And then there was a whole bunch of things that happened kind of almost all at once that gave us, a lot to think about in a short amount of time. And one of those was our communications. We've had Starlink for the past year and a half and have been paying $250 a month basically for unlimited data here while we're near shore. And then we pay, like per gig when we're offshore for priority data, which was fine. That was great.
That's been my lifeline to my kids and my family. So it's helped me immensely.
But they've changed the plan now, and so the plan is now you get 50 gigs and that's it, and then everything's throttled down to just about what dial-up is, and it's just that's horrible. We can barely do email at that point, the way the internet works. So we're having to figure that out, and then also
watch the stock market, the crisis in the world with the U.S. kind of against everybody else. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, and carrying our U.S. flagged boat, do we feel unsafe out here? No, but it just is an uneasy feeling that we've both kind of had.
Yeah, so with the stock market dropping and, everybody pushing, saying this is going into a recession, it kind of made us think that maybe we just need to get back to the United States, get back to work.
Is this the wisest way to spend our money?
Right.
Probably not, but it's been a goal and a dream that we've had. And then lastly is we could always bring crew on board. If it was just a seasickness and migraine thing, and that was just yes, we could bring crew on board. We've had crew on board, didn't exactly have the best experience because being on passage is a very intimate experience. You are not at your best, and to have a foreign or a new person thrown in the mix during that, I don't know. It's
tough.
We could, yes, if it comes down to it, we could try hiring crew and seeing if that works out for us. But there was just a lot of factors. It's not, this is multifactorial, and this is kind of weeks and months of us going back and forth with this idea. It just didn't happen overnight.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight.
This decision wasn't completely solid, as we still needed permission to sell the boat from the New Zealand government. See, we were ready to go because we were stocked with all that Diet Coke. I never would have bought that much Diet Coke if I would have known we were selling. Here, Davis, I couldn't find that for your birthday.
What?
I had bought all these cards for when he turned 11, 12, 13, and 14.
14?
I'd pre-bought them all and had them downstairs.
Why?
So that you could have a number card, because you always had those when you were kids. Rob was on many phone calls to many people, seeing if New Zealand would even allow us to sell the boat.
So basically things here in New Zealand are changing and changing fast. There's been a lot of changes to customs and immigration here in New Zealand in the past year. Immigration fees have gone up, and there used to be for customs to where if you needed to sell your boat, if you got here and you needed to sell your boat or your circumstances changed or whatever, that they would let you go ahead and list the boat and sell the boat under a temporary import exemption, and then that way you don't have to pay import duty or taxes on the boat. And then if a non-New Zealand person buys the boat, then they don't have to pay it either. What they're now changing it to is that you pay it right up front, entire amount for GST, which is 15%, and duty, which is 5%. So basically 20% on top of whatever the price is sold on the boat.
So for us, that would be over $100,000.
Yeah.
On a $500,000 boat.
Yeah. So not good news, and that's going to change our plans.
So our adventure is going to continue. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it has been so many emotions in the past 3 days, from like crying, fear, disappointment, fear of failure. Like, Rob and I the past couple of days. And
It's
Davis,
been tough.
It's been heck.
It's been tough.
Heck. Like, I couldn't even talk. We haven't even told our parents yet.
We haven't told anybody except a couple of our kids, and then our patrons. And you know, for our patrons out there, thank you very much for supporting us. You can disregard what you saw yesterday because we're going to be staying on the boat a little while longer. You know, we don't have control over what the governments do. So we're just going to keep plugging away out here and hoping for the best. And, you know, we pray to God that, you know, everything turns out well for us and for everybody else. And
the point of it is, we have prayed and we have given this decision to God, and if he closed this door for a reason,
he closed the door for a reason. He
closed
did.
it for a reason. We trust him, and we're gonna just keep moving forward with our original sail plan, and maybe I won't get sick on the next one. I've got more pens of Imitrex, you know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
We're gonna be fine. We're still alive. We're healthy. We're gonna move forward.
So I guess this adventure continues.
Yep.
One benefit of this is we have purged our boat. Let me show you the things that we are donating or getting rid of that we didn't need, like clothes. These are clothes Davis has outgrown, clothes that we don't use. Getting rid of just trash and cleaning up stuff. Our boat's gonna be a little bit lighter and cleaner. I'm being optimistic.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yep. I look forward to your call. Thanks. Bye.
So who was that?
So that was a broker here in New Zealand. The apparently what we were told by customs is the correct thing that's happening now. It's very, very recent. The broker that she wants me to talk to is actually on the phone right now. They're going to give us a call back to just kind of discuss it a little bit more and to see what kind of possibilities there may be. You know, but being as it's brand new, it looks like they're just still navigating the whole process as well. But we'll get some more information soon and share
It's
with
just
you.
crazy that, like, we have known 5 boats that have sold, that we buddy boated through the Pacific with, and have sold here, and we are the first boat.
They came in on a tie got here in early November, put the boat up less than 3 weeks here. So, like, their whole intention was to sell when they got here, which really kind of goes against what the tie is all about. Because if you bring the boat to sell, you're supposed to pay all these taxes. It is what it is. We'll move forward. We'll see what's going on. I did. Yeah, we for sale.
So that is a phone call we've been waiting for from the boat broker here in New Zealand to see if there's any appeal, or
They got in on a tie.
I don't know. We're
2 weeks later,
we're just looking at our option. We're just, I don't know. We're still we're moving forward with the fact that we're probably leaving. Now the next obstacle is that our visas expire April 28th. Insurance says we can't leave till May 1st. So Rob sees it as if we'll be 2 days in the country as illegal immigrants. I'm like, let's check out of the country on the 28th and sail, like, away from shore, offshore, like, and then the next weather window we take. But Rob sees that as we're doing wrong. And yes, I guess we are. But do we pay $300 to be legally in the country for 2 days? I don't know. We're just sorting this out too. So we'll see what this call says and see if anything changes.
Go ahead and just continue moving on.
What's the verdict? You're smiling.
Well, so the verdict, it's mixed. So yes, they are having to deal with this whole issue. They actually have some boats that are under contract that the government originally gave them permission, and now they've kind of taken it back. And the industry guys are saying you're going to ruin the yachting industry for us here, especially in the Northland, because this is where most of it happens. So the government is having second thoughts. So I don't necessarily know that that would apply to us in our situation here, because we are on a hard deadline to leave the country, and there's nothing that we can do about that. Secondly, he did suggest that maybe we list it internationally and not in New Zealand. He said, so basically you would not close here in New Zealand. You would have the person would come in and like look at the boat and everything, and then they would go and hire a captain to sail it offshore, and so you sail it offshore under the tie, and then the you would leave, the boat would leave under us, and then it'll arrive in another country under the new owner's name. Basically, I think this what means for us is that, we are in a time crunch for leaving a country, and I just think I don't feel comfortable leaving the boat here, just for somebody to sail it off to close the deal out at sea, especially so far away from home. So I think the best course of action for us is to keep sailing and to go to Vanuatu in a few weeks. I think that's the best course of action.
So you've decided we're just going to keep sailing?
We're going to keep sailing.
So part of what fueled our decision to go home was we try to be positive on YouTube. We also want to show the struggle too, but when you get crapped on as a parent and people say mean things about your kid and your parenting, it's really hard to put it out there. But Davis has ADHD. So homeschooling, boat schooling a child with ADHD has been a struggle. And I limit what I put out there because his friends may watch this and he's going to go to high school one day, and I don't want any bad effects from that. So, but just trying these past couple of days, we've been trying to get the boat ready to sell. Well, now we're just like cleaning everything, trying to get the room clean and stuff. Like, parenting's flipping hard. It's hard on land, and I feel like it's even harder on a boat. And I want to say, while I'm talking about kids here, this lifestyle, shifting your child from a suburban, normal childhood in a cul-de-sac to coming out here to this boating lifestyle, it's a huge adjustment for your entire family, especially for your child. And the first year, I think we were just lenient, and we loosened our boundaries, and we loosened our parenting style, trying to give him grace and trying to be less tough on him, to give him space to adjust to all this too. And you just run a fine line out here in mom guilt of parenting your child and giving them grace. And that's just something Rob and I are working on. I've learned when I get frustrated with Davis, I have to tap out, and I have to learn to ask for help and tell Rob, say, I need you to manage the situation because I'm getting overwhelmed and I'm getting stressed. So, just my thought.
So I just got an update. Asked for a quote to ship a couple of boxes home. The guy came back to me with 5 boxes, 5 like 24 inch by 24 inch by like 20 inch boxes, $3,700 to ship them from here to the United States. That's nuts.
So pick and choose what you bring on your adventure carefully in case you have to ship it home.
I would say if there's anything that you value, like anything that's memorable to you that you want to keep, store it at home, store it in somebody's garage, store it in their attic. Do not bring it with you on the boat.
Okay. So my rationale, my reasoning, like my mom's KitchenAid blender right here. So she made all my cakes, my sister's cakes growing up. I've made all of our kids' cakes, birthdays cakes, using that KitchenAid. I wanted to take it around the world to continue to make Davis's birthday cakes with that, and then pass it on to my daughter when she gets married to make her children's cakes with it, because it's a 70s KitchenAid and it's amazing. Anyway, Lisa KitchenAid's coming home with me now, though. Well, I mean, it was going to come home with me regardless, but And just like that, Rob knew some weather was coming, but bean bags are flying. We're down here trying to we're almost finished cleaning Davis's room. Davis is almost finished cleaning Davis's room, right? And then we have this. Can you tell how much wind we have?
35 to 40 knots. All of a sudden, like that. It's crazy.
The weather dictates your life on a boat. And we are a rockin' here. Is everything else tied down that needs to be tied down?
Keep an eye on the stuff in the front. Wow, man, in the midst of making all these hard decisions and getting the boat put back together, we were just hit with a super squall, man. 45 knots. I checked it this morning and there was some wind that was supposed to come through this afternoon, but like not a lot of wind, not that much wind, you know, but you always got to be on your toes. All of a sudden the wind started picking up and I looked out front and the bean bags were heading towards the back of the boat. So I jumped up and put those back and then got up here and got the instruments on just to make sure that everything's fine. And if we needed to, we could start the engines if we started dragging, but we're holding steady. I mean, the boat's doing well.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Not like last week when the...
Right, that was weird because, I mean, it seems like we're a lot more exposed to the wind right now. It's supposed to change a little bit. I'm blessed and I didn't have to like don my gear and get my gear all wet again. It's all dry and put back. So, you know, I didn't, you know, with everything that we got out right now, I really would have to.
The boat's kind of a wreck at this point, trying to determine what you're going to keep and what you're going to go. And we were getting rid of a ton of stuff that we didn't want to ship home and that people didn't want to leave on the boat. So.
And we're still going to get rid of it because guess what? We don't need it.
Oh yeah, we are. Yeah. So ladies, I think I showed you before. But you don't need as many clothes as you think. Like out here, think of like comfy outfits, shorts, tank tops, sports bras. I mean, you like put on real clothes every now and again, but just leave all your nice real clothes. Just leave a lot more at home than you think.
We've got a little bit of ways to
We're gonna end this here, and I'm gonna say thanks for watching this video, because I'm sure it was probably a lot of crying and emotions and like, anyhow, stick with us, kids. We're gonna keep going. We've kind of taken this opportunity to rearrange things and redecorate the boat now that we've like got everything cleaned and pulled out, to show them your updated decor.
So this is my room. So when you first walk in, you can find that the floor is totally clean, nothing on it.
Which is amazing!
Got my friends over there. Got my arrow of light, my boomerang. And
we
my
mounted his MP3 player when he loses his tech time.
And I got my books, my speaker. And yeah, it's...
So earlier he said, I love my room now. So the silver lining